today I'm joined by our lovely other host, Stephanie Plays Logs, and a good friend of ours, Jack W. Jack W stands for Jack Win, Jack Water, Jack Walamalakava. I have no idea what the W stands for. Those are just three of my guesses. Do not ask me to repeat the third one because I don't know how to say Walamalakava for a second time in a row straight. So, how are you, Stephanie? Just kidding, no one cares. I'm kidding. Everyone cares.
Oof.
But in all seriousness, how are you, Stephanie? How are you, Jack?
Yeah, not
I'm doing good. I'm waiting for my train, which is like another.
Is it a bus? Is it a train? Are you blind? I'm sorry.
Train,
You said train about 10 minutes ago, and now you're saying it's a bus, it's a train. Is it a bird? Is it a plane? What is this you are waiting for?
I've been out since 1 in the morning.
That's all right. Regardless if it's a bus, if it's a train, if it's a bird, it's a plane. As long as you get on it and get on it safely, and get wherever you're going safely, that's all that matters. Of course, if it's a bird and you get on that, that's gotta be a really big bird. I mean, that it's probably a dragon, so I'd stay away from it if if that's what it turns out to be. So I would just might eat you, might burn you alive when you get home. It might be taking you home so it can burn your family, eat your family alive. I don't know how dragons work. They've been extinct for years. So
what's today's topic then?
Today's topic is going to be a very interesting one. Apparently somewhere, I have not read the article today, as I just found it browsing my Fox News app, which, in case you can't tell, the news article is brought to us by CNN. No, I'm kidding. By Fox, of course. And it is a World War I pilot's, let me go to, here it is, logbook and gun camera photos discovered in a barn. So, gun camera photos are not, and I don't think they're referring to photos of guns from the World War I pilots, but that's generally how they take pictures, is they would have, kind of camera on the gun, and, I think that's how they took the aerial photos back in World War I. I'm not entirely sure. I wasn't even alive when World War I was going on, nor when it ended. So
yeah, I failed history, so I don't really know anything about.
Yeah, history books don't really cover the ins and outs of how they, how they captured the photos back then before the drones and tech they have now.
Yeah, I'm mature.
Oh yeah. So, I know I said with the last podcast, I just want to say this real quick that I would be getting more DOIJ RP videos, but my phone has been kind of glitchy with Discord and closing the app. So, just a heads up, if anyone's expecting a whole lot of RP videos this week, don't. That will be at least one a week. I'll try to do more than that, but that, kind of the Discord closing out in the middle of a scene and people are talking kind of kills the video, so kind of kills the scene there. So yeah. Alright, so apparently her train has come. Hopefully it has come. Hopefully it is a train, or a bus or a plane. I don't know. I'm not sure how a plane would fit onto the streets, but I mean, hey, stranger things have happened. And I'm not referring to that show, which I have not seen a single episode of, I don't think. Anyway, let's go ahead and read today's article, which again is brought to us by the Fox News app. Sadly, they're not sponsoring us, as we are not sponsored by anybody but ourselves. But that's all the sponsors we need. So, again, the title of this is World War I Pilot's Logbook and Gun Camera Photos Discovered in Barn by James Rogers, Fox News. There's a video. I will not play that, as that is most likely copyrighted, as it is Fox, and it says, War to End All Wars, How World War I Still Resonates Today. As the world marks the 100th anniversary of the armistice that ended World War I, the National World War I Museum and Memorial serves as a reminder of the sacrifices U.S. troops made in the Great War. Eric John reports from Kansas City, Missouri. A logbook and gun camera photos that belong to a World War I pilot have been found in a UK barn. UK is in Europe, if I remember correctly. I kind of failed geography, but pretty sure I can link those two together.
No problem.
There you go, you're born. The incredible artifacts were found in a box that had been in the Leicestershire barn for decades. Sorry if I botch any of these names. Half the time I botch U.S. County names and such, as, you know, they don't know why people can't just do something simple. But whatever. According to UK-based Hanson's auctioneers, which will be auctioning the items next month. Honestly, they should go to a museum, but whatever. The logbook, which belonged to Lieutenant Stewart Leslie, describes crash landings, the number of rounds fired by the plane's Lewis gun, bombs dropped, and actions against enemy aircraft. Other items found include Leslie's aerial maps, the aircraft's pennant flags, and officers' Royal Flying Corps / RAF wings. Hold on, let me see. Okay, and there's another article that we'll cover in the next podcast, because this one has a very interesting title as well. And on with this one, the logbook runs from November 11th, 1917 to October 24th, 1918, offering a glimpse into the life of a pilot in the early days of air combat, according to Adrian Stevenson, head of Hanson's Auctioneers, Metals and Military Department. All of Lieutenant Leslie's documents and records are there, he said in a statement. We know what planes he flew, where he trained, and the dangers he faced as he took the skies to defend our country. And it has a photo of all the stuff, which is actually pretty cool. Yes, a second lieutenant in the Royal Flying Corps, which was the predecessor of the RAF, Leslie was in active service until October 1918 and logged over 260 hours of flying time as a pilot and observer. So that's probably why he would have photos, is the observer part. The entire collection is fascinating, said Stevenson. I was also amazed by 9 small rolls of gun camera photographs from 1918. Gun cameras were used during training and combat to test accuracy, but that pilot's flying logbook is particularly special. It's incredibly rare. I've only ever seen one in a museum. Entries in the logbook include, and it's a quote, plane hit by machine gun fire and forced down due to engine trouble. A badge found in the collection of artifacts indicates that Leslie was wounded during his service. Leslie survived the war and died in 1950, age 57. The collection came to light after a photo frame made out of a First World War aircraft propeller was brought into Hanson's for evaluation. The owner told me he had more items relating to the war and returned with a large box, which had been in a Leicestershire barn, said Stevenson. He had no idea who it related to, but said his mother had been the recipient of old family heirlooms. I was flabbergasted when I started pulling out the items. It was a military treasure trove. Hanson's auctioneers will be auctioning the items on March 20th. The entire collection could fetch $2,585,000 US dollars, it says. It's probably just under $2,000 in pounds, I believe. So, a British soldier's battered World War I diary recounting the bloody battle of the Somme will also be auctioned by Hanson's on March 20th. The diary was written in pencil by Private Arthur Edward Diggins of the Royal Engineers, starts on February 13th, 1916, and ends on October 11th of that year. His diary entry for July 1st, 1916 describes some of the first day of the Battle of Somme, and that is another bit that we'll get into another day. But, so what is your opinion on this, Jack?
Yeah, like I said, I'm not exactly the best historian. Definitely failed, but I don't know, kind of interesting.
Yeah, I also think it shouldn't be auctioned up. I think it should be either kept in the family or go to a museum.
I'd sell it.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's history, and I mean, and you really weren't guaranteed to, actually keep it preserved in a museum, because it's a private collector. They can, just keep opening it and,
I'd sell it because, in my opinion, it wouldn't be of use to me unless it was a family member's, but it wouldn't be. So I'd sell it.
Yeah, well, but if it was family heirloom, you never know. I mean, it could, a glimpse of your great-great-grandfather's life, great-great-great, however many greats it'll be. Generation's life. So, I mean, which is always fascinating to know what you're, because if you kept it in the family, then generations down the line, they would, your great 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 grandkids would know what their several generations back grandfather did, because I don't know about you, but I'm always curious in like what did people do in the past lives and how did they live, what was it like for them, because we can speculate, but we don't really know. Because like we can compare, but they don't have anything to compare to. Like they don't have to compare to the future of, oh man, I wish I was born 100 years from now with all this great tech. But so they don't have that. We have that, backwards comparison.
I don't know. I mean, has it got a photo of the gun camera found or not? Has it got pictures of it?
I believe so. Let me go ahead and pop back into that.
Because they'd be pretty cool to see if there was.
Yeah.
Pretty sweet.
Yeah, there's part of a role is being shown, and it is pretty cool because it's got like the aiming, the not really the reticule, but the crosshairs.
Yeah.
And looks like he's looking at a plane on the middle picture. So that's pretty cool. So
yeah, I mean, I'd like to see that, but
and this guy's handling it with his bare hands, which an artifact like this, you really shouldn't be handling with your bare hands. You should be handling it with
a case,
gloves.
Yeah, plastic, yeah.
Yeah, you shouldn't be handling antique stuff like this, like historic stuff. I think that's really cool that that it was discovered, and I'd be really interesting to like.
Was it found? You say in Europe?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, somewhere in the UK. It was Gloucestershire or some shire.
Oh yeah, Leicestershire. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's about
not too good with the British name.
200 miles away from me.
Yeah.
It's quite far.
So much farther away from me.
Yeah, not 1,000 probably. Where are you? West Coast, East Coast?
East Coast. So probably, yeah. So Lord knows how many, but.
So that's even. Oh no, that's not what bad. So what time is it for you right now? 1?
About 12:18 in the afternoon. Yeah.
Anyway, man, I'm gonna have to dip because I've got this training, but I wish you the best of luck.
Yeah, thanks for joining.
No worries. Have a nice day.
Have fun with the training. And speaking of training, if you want to join the best server or roleplay server on PS4, I can't speak for Xbox or 5M as I don't have Xbox. I don't have a PC to be 5M with. And then go ahead and click the 5th link in the description. That'll lead you to the interview server for DOIJ. In DOIJ, we have PS4, Xbox One, and 5M GTA 5 Red Dead Redemption. I'm sorry, GTA 5 roleplay. And then we have PS4 and Xbox One Red Dead Redemption 2 roleplay. I don't know yet about the online version. I don't think we will yet, as RDR FR, which is being made by the people that are behind LCPDFR and LSPDFR, is, I believe, still in the process of being built or made, or whatever technical term it would be. But I'm pretty sure they'll have that up hopefully soon. So yeah, and I don't even know what that would even be called. I mean, would it still be called 5M? I don't even know why 5M is called 5M. That would be an interesting thing to know. But with that said, if you want to join the official DOIJ podcast server, that'll be the 2nd link in the description. If you want to go ahead and donate to the podcast, go ahead and click on the 1st link in the description. I highly recommend joining the podcast server. I highly recommend joining DOIJ. I'll hopefully be uploading a video or 2 next week. Again, I am uncertain about that. Hopefully I will not have to put recording on a hold. I will not be live streaming for quite a while until I figure out what is wrong with this, what was wrong with my phone and Discord. As of right now, they have not disconnected, but it might be a time certain thing, so I'll keep an eye on it and hopefully find the best times to record so I can get this content to you sooner, quicker, and more frequently. So with that said, thank you all so much for listening into today's podcast. Again, if you want to donate, go to the first link in the description. If you want to join the official DOIJ podcast server, not an RP server, but the podcast server, you can join the, you can click the second link in the description. And of course, we have a link to the interview server and the podcast server. Now that'll be in the how to join DOIJ text chat. And if you want to join DOIJ, go to the fifth link in the description, or join the podcast server, and then go to how to join DOIJ. And again, we have GTA 5 roleplay on PS4, Xbox One, and PC, also known as 5M. We also have Red Dead Redemption 2 roleplay on PS4 and Xbox One. So thank you all so much for joining. Thank you for listening in, and we will catch you later.